I'm discussing the art of listening. The art of listening. Most of us, we like to talk. And there's no way our mouth and our ears will be working at the same time. If you want to listen effectively, you need to have a quiet mouth sometimes and listen to what others are saying. In some of my videos past, I've explained the 5 senses to you. And I'm sure our sense of listening is part of the one I explained. You can check out those videos and go over it if you're interested. But what I'm talking about today, of the art of listening, what we need to know to listen. And I've always said in some of the others, please have quiet mouth and listening ears. Sometimes when we don't listen, important, critical messages or things we should learn from, knowledge, certain wisdom pass us by. Because we have used our mouth to say, we keep on talking, not listening or allowing others to make contributions for us to listen to. Yeah, the art of listening. You see the ears? When words, noise, voice comes into our eardrum. As an introduction, let me start by this. The art of listening involves actively and attentively hearing what someone is saying without judgment or interruption. Because when you keep interrupting somebody talking, you are not being attentive. Or when someone talks and you are judging the words without letting that person finish, it's not good enough. The art of listening requires being fully present at the moment and paying attention to both verbal and non-verbal cues. I tell you, when you keep quiet, with quiet mouth, and someone is talking, it's not just the verbal alone that you are present of. You are actually looking also for non-verbal cues of what the person is saying that he might not order out. Effective listening involves demonstrating empathy, asking clarifying questions. And that's why when somebody is talking to you, sometimes it's good to show you are very attentive and you are listening. You need to look at the person's eyes, face to face. It shows you are listening. It's not that time you'll be looking at your phone. It's not that time you'll be answering your WhatsApp messages or that time you'll be finding for something, looking around. No. You're listening. Look at that person. So that person knows you are looking at it. Empathy. Asking clarifying questions. If you want to ask questions, you can say, excuse me, can I ask a question before you go on? You ask clarifying questions. And providing feedback that shows understanding. Good listening skills are essential in building relationships, resolving conflicts, and better understanding of others. It is always a win-win situation as listening skills. The art of listening is a very complex and multifaceted skill that involves much more than simply hearing what someone else is saying. Let me share with you now some critical details of the art of listening. And I think I'll be sharing about 5 of these critical details. They are more than that, but these are critical. Active listening. Active listening is critical to effective listening. You'll be asking, what's the difference? There is. Active listening is critical to effective listening. It involves paying attention to what someone is saying without judgment or interruption. It means giving your full attention to the speaker, acknowledging their words, and demonstrating your engagement through body language and appropriate responses. If your body language differs from what they're saying negatively, the person can decipher it and stop talking. Empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share another person's feelings. You know, when it comes to emotion, one has to be very careful at times. So to be an effective listener, you must demonstrate empathy towards the speaker, which means putting yourself in their shoes and imagining how they feel. Don't just discard it with a wave of the hand as if it doesn't matter. Oh, what are you saying? It doesn't matter. Other people feel, no. Empathize with such a person. Then other critical details include nonverbal communication. Nonverbal communication, such as facial expressions, body language, and tone of voice. Your tone of voice is very important. All these are essential aspects of listening. Effective listeners pay attention to nonverbal cues to better understand the speaker's thoughts and emotions when such person is talking to you. Look at these nonverbal cues. Look at the expression in their faces. Look at the language and tone. Then clarifying questions. Clarifying questions ensure that you clearly understand what the speaker is saying. Yeah, the speaker might say something. Do not misconstrue that word, because misconstrued communication leads to chaotic situations at times, to conflicts at times. So ask clarifying questions to be able to understand exactly the meaning of those words that person is saying. So this question can help to clarify your confusion or misunderstandings and ensure that both parties are on the same page. Then feedback. Providing a feedback is a critical part of effective listening. It involves reflecting on the speaker's words and demonstrating that you have understood them. Feedback can involve paraphrasing what the speaker has said or summarizing their main points. When that person is done, then you try and paraphrase or try and summarize so that the person will know if there's anywhere you didn't understand something, the person might say, no, I didn't mean this. This is what I said. So it's good to paraphrase or summarize. And that's the kind of feedback you give to that person where you are listening attentively to what they're saying. I want to summarize now. Listening involves actively engaging with the speaker, demonstrating empathy, paying attention to nonverbal cues, asking clarifying questions, providing understanding feedback. By developing good listening skills, you can build stronger relationships, resolve conflicts more effectively, and better understand others. And I find out that this essential, having a good listening skills is essential to any relationship, either between husband and wives, either between just boyfriend and girlfriends, either between a boss and the workers, or somebody in any kind of relationship, in businesses. From bottom up, from up bottom, listening skills helps to understand each other.